Good evening, everybody. This is Krista with Magnolia Ridge Farm and Gardens, and tonight I am going to show you a soup that I tried this week for the Pantry Challenge, and that is corn and potato chowder. I had quite a bit of potatoes that are getting eyes on them and getting soft. This is my last crate of potatoes. My dad still has 3 or 4 crates at his house that he's wanting me to come get, so I'm trying to work my way through this crate before I go get more. So I decided instead of just doing cream corn and biscuits that I had planned, I would do some corn and potato chowder to use up some of the potatoes. So this is the recipe that I'm doing tonight, and I will link the recipe that I used below. It's pretty standard, but let's go through it. So first we're adding just a little bit of butter, about 1.5 tablespoons to the pan, and we're going to let that start melting down while we get everything else ready to go. So I'm using this onion that I found where it had started to sprout, and the recipe actually calls for green onions, but since I didn't have any, I decided to use this onion here with the sprouts and just cut up the sprouts. And then that way I could add a little bit of freshness and a green onion vibe to the stew. And then later when I'm adding the seasonings, I do have some dehydrated or dried green onions in my seasoning cabinet that I'm going to add just to give it a little bit of extra. But these sprouts on this onion actually worked really well, and the onion itself was actually rotten when I cut into it, so I had to get a different onion, but I at least got to use the greens from it. So I'm just going to set those to the side and start on the bacon. We don't eat a lot of pork, but we do keep a few packs of bacon around just to use for recipes like this, or occasionally with breakfast or something. But that's one of the reasons why we'll never grow our own pigs or anything, just because we don't eat a lot of pork. This bacon is the low sodium bacon from Aldi's, and I will use the rest of this pack of bacon later this week, because I don't want to refreeze that. This is going in the pan with the butter just to crisp up, to act as bacon bit toppings. And then while that is going, we're going to get the rest of the ingredients situated out. So we're going to slice up the onion. Well, we're going to dice up the onion very small. And then set that to the side in a bowl. And this is dehydrated garlic, which I will link the video where I will link the video where I preserved all the garlic. But I'm going to just take this dehydrated garlic, chop it up very small, and I'm going to put it in the bowl with the green onion tops and add just a little bit of water to rehydrate that garlic some while it's waiting to go in the pot. And this is my last crate of potatoes, and I'm just going through and finding some big ones that look good. Give them a quick peel here, and then dice them up and put them in cold water. This is turkey broth, and I had 2 jars out because I was not sure how much I would need. The recipe calls for 4 cups. So after I drain it, I wasn't sure exactly how much I would be left, but we had just under 4 cups there. So it worked just fine, especially since I had some water to rehydrate the garlic. Then I chopped up some carrots, and now I'm cooking that onion down in the bacon grease, and I've just added the garlic and onion tops. So we're going to get those down to their translucent, and then add in 2 tablespoons of flour and cook that for 1 minute. And then to that we will add the turkey stock. Give that a stir, let it cook for a second, smooth all that flour out. And then we're going to add in the potatoes and carrots, because those will need to cook in that broth until they are soft, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes depending. I brought it up to a boil and then reduced it to simmer, and I think it took about 15 minutes total. And then I'm opening up home canned corn from the garden and adding that. It's about 2 cups. I just added in a pint. And you just want to heat that up until the corn's heated through. And then we're adding in some half and half. It's like 1 cup of half and half, I believe. And again, I'll link the recipe that I use. I didn't follow it exactly because I'm using some of my own home canned, home preserved ingredients, but I followed it loosely. It gives you kind of some amounts to base it off of. This was where I was adding in some more of the dried green onion. And some parsley. And then of course salt and pepper to taste. And then just dish it up and get it ready to serve. Obviously I've got biscuits there on the side. Top it with some bacon, and then I added more parsley on top. You could do crackers or just as is. I had originally planned to make the cream corn and biscuits though, so I already had in my head that I was doing the biscuits. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you back again later for the next video. Hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and follow along with our journey. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.